Disclaimer, this video is under fair use. And if you don't like my content, there's no point in telling me. You know what to do.
Do you really think I'm sitting up here upset about unfollow? Truth is, bitch, I'm your fucking mother. You're mad I disowned you for being a fucking rat, and that's what this is all about.
Welcome to It Is What It Is, and y'all already know what it is with me. Let's get straight into it. So as some of y'all may know, Stunna Girl and Big Legs have been getting into it. Now this is an altercation I did not see happening, but if you are someone who watches my videos, you'll see that in one of my videos, around the time when Lex got jumped by Jocelyn, I actually mentioned that Stunna Girl unfollowed Lex when the recording was dropped of her calling the cops. And now, ever since Lex came out of her hiatus, it seems like because of this, she has a target on Stunna Girl. Now, I honestly believe this is technically where everything started, but where it actually started to pick up on traction is when Big Legs posted this on her story. So she tagged Stunna Girl and asked her if she called her a rat, and I'm not really sure where this came from. The reason why I don't really know where this came from is because when Big Legs called the cops and Stunna Girl unfollowed her, Stunna Girl was quiet the whole time. She didn't say anything publicly about Big Legs calling the cops. She honestly kept quiet, and Big Legs obviously didn't say anything because of her legal team that she mentioned that she had to be quiet and everything. My only guess for the reason that Big Legs added Stunna Girl and asked if she called her a rat is Stunna Girl did tweet something that said, "Claim you a gangsta B-word, but F with rats. It's really no more real hood B-words left." But honestly, even this tweet doesn't sound like she's actually talking about Lex. I say that because if the gangsta she talking about is Lex, what rats does Lex F with? There's no knowledge or anything about that, so to me that doesn't make sense if she's talking about Lex is the gangsta. And who else would she be talking about who F's with rats? This to me didn't really seem like she was talking about Lex here, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Now, Lex did add Stunna Girl on Instagram. However, Stunna Girl did not respond to Lex quickly on Instagram. She did respond rather quickly on Twitter though. So she said, "You can't diss me if you paid me for a feature. Stop trying to clout chase off me. You HOS got bigger issues to worry about than sucking my. All I do is unfollow B-words and they be ready to they self." Now after this, it was kinda quiet. Stunna didn't say anything on Instagram. She kinda just left it at that. Then I guess after no response from Stunna Girl, Lex went on Instagram and posted this. "I was ducking Molly Brazy cause Stunna was mad. B wanna call me a rat over a rat, B. Be for real." I don't know, it was kinda random and really just seemed unnecessary that she said she was ducking Molly Brazy cause Stunna was mad. I don't know why you threw that in there. I don't know what she means by ducking. In my opinion, I feel like she's saying she was, dodging her because Stunna and her, they don't mix, so, but it's why mention that? Then Stunna replied saying, "Quit sucking me, the F, weirdo B." Big Legs replied and said, "Stop sending me that girl's story, she not talking about me, couldn't possibly, B know how to use the at." Then Stunna posted these on her story. I'm not gonna read them all, I'm just gonna skim through them on here and you guys can pause them and read them. Now this is crazy because right here she does say that she unfollowed Lex because she did call the cops and snitch. And I mean, when I said that in my video, when the incident happened, it just makes sense to me because Stunna does not play that. She's actually a blood. So after this response from Stunna Girl, that's when Big Legs went live and she addressed everything pretty much that's going on with Stunna Girl, more than she addressed anything about Jocelyn really. I did post this live. It's age restricted because it is a lot going on. Lex said a lot. That honestly, I understand why it's age restricted, but check that out. I have Stunna Girl's lives and Big Legs lives in my recent videos that y'all could check out. But we're gonna just go over the gist of what Lex said in her live. So Lex opened up the live basically saying that she doesn't give a F about an unfollow. She was like, "You girls don't run Instagram. What do I look like caring about an unfollow? I don't give a F." And honestly, this is kind of what this whole thing started over. It started over Stunna unfollowing Lex. Stunna never said anything publicly about this girl. Even when Lex got jumped at the Mayweather event, she said that she wasn't in Miami when it happened. She didn't mention Lex or say anything or give her 2 cents about it. Even when the police recording dropped of Lex calling the cops, she just gave Lex a silent unfollow. But the first thing that Lex does when she comes out of her hiatus is come for Stunna Girl? It's not making sense, and that's just what I wanted to make, but it's simply not making that. If you're so unbothered about an unfollow from Stunna Girl, why are you not clearly and simply stating the reason why you're coming for her? Like, you added her and that's it. For what? She likes to use the term hit dog, but questioning her about calling you a rat is giving very much hit dog. Very much bothered. Like, I don't know why she think like people can't see stuff like that. She kept saying, y'all making it seem like I was begging Stunna for a feature, y'all this, y'all making everything seem like this and that. Stunna Girl said all of these things. Like, just address Stunna Girl. Why are you worried about what other people is saying in the comments or what they're making it seem like? Now, Stunna Girl did say that Lex was begging for people chains and money in the video shoot, but Lex said that she was not begging for nobody chains, that she got her confused with some old beef or somebody else, and she said that there was no money at the video shoot, which if y'all do watch the video that Big Lex and Stunna have together, there is no money in that video shoot. So I don't know what Stunna was talking about when she said that she was asking for money and all of that, because there was no money in that video shoot. I don't know if Stunna was lying, if she was talking about someone else, or maybe Lex did ask and they just decided not to use money in the video shoot. I really don't know, but it is what it is. I don't know about the begging for chains part either, because I do know that Lex wears the same chain with the same pendant that she has been wearing since the dawn of time. Like, I have not seen her with that off or with anything else on around her neck, so I really don't know. She said that Stunna had on costume jewelry at the video shoot, but I don't know, like, I don't know how much of that is believable. I know some people do use costume jewelry, but Stunna had been popping around that time and had already been getting money. Like, there are receipts to prove that, so it's like, I really don't know if she really had that on, if she really had on costume jewelry. Like, I feel like they both playing with each other when they be talking about their jewelry and stuff, because I don't know, both their jewelry be shining to me, so it both look real. Then in response to Stunna saying that like Lex and her manager, which her manager at the time was Tilo, who is the CEO of Now That's TV, she said that they really came in broke, didn't have a lot of money and all of that, just claiming that they really just did not have a lot. And Stunna said that they needed to up the 5 on the video shoot, and Lex ended up saying that she upped her flight at the video shoot to the video shoot, and she upped the cost to the whole thing. Which, when it comes to this whole thing is aggravating, because it's like, you don't really know who's telling the truth. What I do know is that Stunna was popping at the time she was popping, but in the live, Lex was really like trying to downplay Stunna, acting like she wasn't doing her thing, but at the same time trying to say, oh, you was humming, you was buzzing, you was doing your thing, I'm not gonna discredit you, but you were talking about how she came in like she was broke with one bag and how you helped her out by upping the flight and the cost to the whole thing. It just makes sense to me to come to the conclusion that, okay, y'all both had bread. Like, it's cool, y'all both had bread, you know, but Stunna was definitely more farther in her rap career than Big Lex was. Definitely. I feel like around that time, Tilo was still trying to show her the ropes and everything. It just makes more sense that Stunna would definitely be up more in the ranks, up more with her bread in terms of her music and her rapping. But there's no reason for y'all to go tit for tat of who helped who out more, because it seemed like y'all both was helping each other out, which I think that's what Lex said, but she still tried to throw Stunna under the bus, I guess, because Stunna did throw her under the bus. But I'm gonna say, in terms of rap career, who was helping who out the most, it's gonna have to be Stunna Girl. She was definitely helping Lex out by doing a feature with her. She was already in the rap game longer and already had credentials as an underground artist. Like, we're gonna lay that there, that's just facts. And no shade, but it makes sense. Stunna's music is definitely more coherent than Lex's music. To me, Lex kind of makes, I don't know what type of music she makes. It just kind of seems very much like, I don't know, 304 music, like Stand on the Corner. And some can argue that Stunna makes the same type of music, which she does because she was a 304 herself. But to me, Lex kind of just makes very much slow music. Like, it just sounds slow. That's what her music remind me of. It remind me of like lunch table raps, but like Hot Cheeto Dust Girl lunch table raps. You know what type of vibe that give. That's just what it remind me of. And Stunna Girl, I can't really listen to her music that well either, at all really. I said that well. I don't listen to her music at all. I can't. But Stunna Girl's lyrics makes more sense to me than Big Lex lyrics. I can't stand when girls mirror each other in arguments, like they're both saying the same things, like, oh, she's the one I had to help out. No, she's the one I had to help out. She's the one who was broke. No, she's the one who was broke. She's the one who's wearing fake costume jewelry. No, she's the one who's wearing costume jewelry. Make it make sense. Some somebody is lying. Not both of you can be telling the truth. And if y'all are lying, like, just stand on it. Like, I just want somebody to be for real. That's when, like, you know, you really have to do the digging yourself and figure out who's really standing on 10 toes. You know, do your research. What really doesn't make sense to me is why would Lex say, oh, I picked out of the bottom of the barrel of girls to help in their rap career, and Stunna was the one I picked out. You knew Stunna was ahead of you in your rap career. Like, you was just getting started still. Your lyrics were trash. You were still trying to figure things out. You had a manager who wanted to start a network, and even the network when it started out was still crappy. Still to this day, they're trying to fix things and upgrade things. It really does not make sense. It sounds completely capped that you helped Stunna out with her career. That was just the obvious X, like, that X'd out. Now, Lex said that Stunna saying that she didn't know her, you know, since 2017, and that Lex just been a fan with her trying to get her attention. She said that, you know, they always been supporting each other since then, and that it was capped that Stunna didn't know her. But honestly, it doesn't seem very capped to me, because if you guys did see my video where I mentioned that Stunna Girl unfollowed Lex, you'll see that Lex kind of always had been giving Stunna Girl attention, and even I picked up on this way before any of this was happening. Lex was constantly, like, you know, favoring Stunna Girl, giving her a lot of attention, and like I said in that video, Stunna Girl wasn't reciprocating at all. I mean, not really. Like, she was never really posting Lex's music on her story. She wasn't liking her stuff. It just, to me, was giving that she made a feature with her, and she kind of just left it at that. And I know with a lot of artists in general, if they see someone whose music is not really that good, or they feel like the person doesn't have their foot in the door, or they maybe just don't vibe with that person for any particular reason, they're gonna kind of just be like, oh, I see you there doing your thing, but they're kind of gonna just watch you to see if you're gonna, you know, make a name for yourself before they actually invest any more of their time and energy into you. And that's kind of what it seemed like Stunna did to her. So this also just kind of seems cap what Lex said. And who knows, maybe Lex kind of got the vibe that all of that was going on, and maybe this is also why she chose to come at Stunna Girl when she came back from her hiatus. I don't know. Lex went on to say that Stunna Girl invited her to her house and was always inviting her over, but she said that she never went over Stunna Girl's house because of her tooth. That didn't really make sense to me. She said she had a bad tooth in her mouth or something, and she was like, if you had all that money, why have you never gotten it fixed? And that just doesn't make sense to me. She had a bad tooth, so you didn't go over her house? Like, okay. She said she doesn't know why everyone's acting like she's not that B, but I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. I mean, she didn't really have a good start on Jocelyn's Cabaret since she made that double homicide comment. There were some people that thought it was funny, but a lot of people thought it was insensitive and wrong of her, and she really didn't think that anything was wrong with it. She just got a bad rep, and it makes sense. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like she has done things since then that has showed her good side of character, but everything else for the majority of everything that she's done has just been a spiral downward. She said that she runs reality TV, but I feel like all the girls in reality TV say and think this, and it's honestly exhausting and almost an embarrassing title to claim, in my opinion. I mean, Krishan, Natalie, Jocelyn, they all say that they run reality TV, that this is their domain, and that they're the baddest and on top of everyone. Every girl says the same thing, and it's honestly just like something for show, I feel like, because the same people are gonna watch you. The same people who watch Zeus is gonna watch Now That's TV. Everyone watches the same platform. Some girls go viral more than others, and some are favorited more than others, but it's really all on the same platform. It's all in the same industry, is what I mean by that. She was saying, I allowed you girls to say what you were gonna say, to do your reality TV thing and whatever, and I wonder if she's talking about some of the girls on Now That's TV, some of her ops on Now That's TV, because a while ago, and I do mean a while ago, she went on live saying she was going to be stopping bags on Now That's TV, like some of her ops that were on Now That's TV that were still doing shows and trying to get on shows, but a few of them have been doing shows and still are doing shows, so I don't know, she just didn't do that. Lex then went on to say that Stunna took too long to respond to her on Instagram when she added her on her story and asked if she called her a rat. She was like, you took 2 to 3 business days to get back to me and respond. By then, I was uninterested. Which clearly, you're not uninterested if you went live to talk about it and then went even further to make a diss track to her when she only unfollowed you. That doesn't really look uninterested to me. Now, Big Lex loves to call somebody a hit dog. She called Stunna a hit dog because she responded to her and further made a paragraph about her and posted it, which is why she went live and responding to it. But really, Lex is the hit dog. You're a hit dog because you started all of this because she unfollowed you. I don't see any knowledge or anything that Stunna called her a rat, publicly, verbally, whatever. It wasn't until that you provoked Stunna that she went and said, yeah, you're a rat. Like, everyone is saying that 2 plus 2 is 4. And really, that's what Lex is in this case. You're just mad because I guess she made it clear and vocalized it this time. She said a lot of other things in the live. She said that, she's talking facts, which clearly it doesn't seem like she is. She also thinks that because she got jumped that everyone hates her now and that the hate came out of nowhere. But there's a lot of people that didn't like Lex from Jocelyn's cabaret because what she did say was honestly out of pocket. If you honestly think what she said was funny, something is honestly wrong with you. It was not funny. So she did get a lot of haters because of that. She's even said that. So you can't say that it came out of nowhere, that the hate train came out of nowhere, because it's kind of always been there. And it's just insane to me because Lex is a mother and there is proof of that. Even more has been released that she has children, and it's just insane that she would even make comments like that. She says a lot of out-of-pocket stuff, and Pink revealed that she lost custody of her kids, and just judging by everything that she has said, all of the out-of-pocket things, it just makes sense. She even said something disturbing in her live. She says, "Once I'm done R-wording you B-words, your P-word will be mine." And I was just laughing because what do she be meaning about stuff like that? Like, it was so cringy. She was like, "Oh, y'all are like, it was my mouth that got me jumped," talking about, "Oh, it took a crack warrior to jump me and take me down." It's like, it took you to be dumb to go to a place where you knew she was at by yourself to get jumped by yourself. Yeah, it was your mouth and it was you being dumb. Then she said in a live, she was like, "You guys could have jumped me. You could have fought me before I got jumped or after I got jumped, but you didn't, and now you want to act big and bad." To me, she's kind of acting like people want to fight her or jump her just because she got jumped by Jocelyn and lost the fight. Which, in my opinion, nobody was given the energy before or after Lex got jumped that they wanted to fight her. Lex was not into no beefs with nobody, not before she got jumped. And when I say this, I mean active beefs. Like, she didn't have any before she got jumped. And I'm gonna be honest, aside from Jocelyn and the ones that jumped Lex, she had no beef with anyone afterwards. Like, I don't know why she's starting with Stunna because Stunna didn't say anything about her. It wasn't till Lex was like, "Did you call me a rat?" Did Stunna say something about her on Twitter and then later on Instagram. But the thing about Lex is she cannot state a real reason why she's coming at Stunna. She was like, "Oh, I'm coming at Stunna girl just cuz." Like, yeah, she's the next on my list. Okay, cause she unfollowed you? Because you're not giving us a legit reason. And I think even Stunna mentioned that. She mentioned a lot of other things in the live. She was like, "How are you gonna call me a rat over a rat B-word?" She was talking about how her and Tilo were laughing at Stunna's jewelry on the set when they did the collab on their music video. And I was like, if y'all were laughing and making fun of her jewelry or talking crap about it, why were y'all even trying to do a video shoot with her? Like, it just seems very fake that off rip you were already acting like this. Lex ended the live saying that whoever was gonna do something to her, do what it do, that she was gonna have 100 guys and 50 girls with her. But we all know what I'm going to say. And everyone's been saying the same thing too. Where were those guys and where were those girls when you got jumped by Jocelyn? Why didn't you take them with you to the performance? I don't get it. Like, it's not making sense. And honestly, it doesn't make sense to me that she actually has those guys and has those girls with her, because even when she went and was traveling around to jump Lauren and she, punched Ari, the only girls she had around her to do her dirty work, like meet Lauren at the hotel, were girls from Now That's TV. Same with Ari. When she was trying to get in contact to Ari to get Ari to come meet her and fight, she was using Sayhana's phone, which Sayhana's a cast member from Lex's show. And when it comes to pictures, music videos, and just things that I've seen of Lex, she doesn't really have anyone around her really. She kind of seems like one of those people that really travels solo. And just judging by her personality type, it just kind of makes sense. She just seems like someone that doesn't really trust a lot of people, let alone to keep a lot of them around her. When you see people around her, it's going to be people like Judy or Lucky Hustler, maybe even Michelle, some people from Now That's TV, but I don't see any men around her. No one really, unless she's paying them. Versus Stunna, who has shown that she clearly has people because of the incident she did to that one rapper with the cage incident and everything. She has people backing her, and she's had people in her music videos, the people she's affiliated with. Compared to Stunna, it just seems like Stunna has more of a backing in that area. People could argue and say, oh, Lex is just keeping those people private, like she was keeping her side man Tilo private, but I feel like over the course of time, you would have seen any type of hint, small hints of the fact that she has these people around her, and there just hasn't been any of that. So after Big Lex did her live, Stunna went live afterwards. She said that Lex has been a fan of her since 2017 and before. She said that Lex was blowing up her DM constantly and dancing to her music, trying to get her attention in her DMs, but she wasn't answering. She said that Lex can't post any videos of her buying the jewelry that she has. And this makes me think about when Lex said that Stunna was wearing costume jewelry at the video shoot, and that still to this day, she said that Stunna does not have any jewelry of her own and is not getting any jewelry. So I'm going to bring y'all nothing but the facts. Lex does have one video on her YouTube page of her buying a Rolex watch. I don't know if that's the watch she currently wears because the watch looks different, but she does have one video of her buying a Rolex watch on her YouTube page. Now, I literally can't stand when girls lie about other girls when it comes to this rat beef stuff that these girls like to do in this industry, because let's just call everything like it is. Let's call a spade a spade. For Lex to say that Stunna Girl still to this day is not getting any jewelry, Stunna Girl has posted multiple receipts of her buying jewelry, and she honestly stays icy, so to me that's just completely cap. Stunna also made it known that she did not bring all of her jewelry with her on set to the music video shoot that her and Lex did. Now, I couldn't find any videos of Lex buying any jewelry other than that video she had of her buying the Rolex watch. What I do know is that the chain that she's wearing was actually a purchase made by her manager at the time, which is T-Lo, who is the CEO of Now That's TV. And that is the pendant that you guys see her constantly wearing. She doesn't wear any other chain other than that. The chain is actually different. It was originally something different when it was first purchased, but the pendant was bought by T-Lo to my knowledge and what I could find. In the live, Stunna goes on to say that Lex is beefing with her for clout. Stunna says that Lex's music is actually copying her music, and honestly, this is an opinion that I had when I found out that her and Stunna Girl actually did a music video together. Lex's cadence, like in her song, honestly does sound very similar to Stunna Girl, but it does have her own flair to it. And then in Lex's new music video, which we're going to cover, I think I might make a part 2 of this and cover it, but in Lex's new diss track she made towards Stunna Girl, she's using Stunna's ad-libs, and in my opinion, some may beg to differ or whatever, but in my opinion, when diss tracks are usually made, you don't copy straight word for word or sound for sound of what somebody does and just put it in your song. You make it your own, you use lyrics, and to me, Lex did not do this. And when I say this in terms of her ad-libs. Stunna goes on to say in the live that Lex arrived at the video shoot unkept. She said that she didn't really have any clothes to change into and that she actually let her borrow her stylist. She said that Lex didn't shave down there and that she kept covering her, lower area. She goes on to say that Lex is obsessed with her and that she's not beefing with her because she's a snitch, and that there's no beef when it all started over an unfollow. And then she goes on to say that she actually gave her and T-Lo the feature half off because they didn't have enough to cover the expenses. And then one thing I noticed that Stunna kept saying is that she was like, oh, Lex is 31, you're 31 years old. I did some digging and Lex is not 31 years old, she's actually 29, so I don't know where she got the 31 from. After that live, Stunna Girl went live again. She was basically repeating herself and just kind of saying the same things. Now, Lex actually did make an appearance in this live that Stunna Girl did. She was in the comments saying, oh, I'm here now, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm here. She kept saying jump, leap, pull up, stuff like that. Stunna Girl, it looked like she saw what Lex was saying, but she was acting like she didn't see what she was saying. And Lex was like, oh, now she want to act like she don't see what I'm saying. Even people were in the comments like, oh, Lex is in the chat, add her to the live. I really don't know why Lex was in the comments provoking Stunna, telling her to jump, leap, do something, or to tell her to go live with her like Stunna was going to do that. I mean, you're upset over an unfollow. You're upset over something that does not matter, that's completely irrelevant, and you're trying to get Stunna to do something. Why? And I look at it like this. You already called the cops, you snitched. That is what everyone is saying. Stunna is a gang member. She's affiliated. Why would she go live with you and provoke whatever this agenda, whatever you're trying to pull? Why would she provoke that? and go live with you. She already said she's breaking code speaking about this. I mean, at this point, it's not even some silly internet beef. I mean, it's dumb and it's not even a beef. It's just like a dumb happening, but it's not some silly beef that you could just argue over the internet with that usually all the girls on Now That's TV do or all the girls on reality TV do. We're talking about code, we're talking about games, we're talking about cops involved, and we're talking about cop callers. So why would she involve herself in an Instagram live just for you to try to provoke her to do something? Why would she do that? Like, make it make sense. Now, what I did want to mention about both of their Instagram lives is they both kind of seemed nervous during their lives. I don't know if anyone picked up on that. Stunna Girl looked nervous in her lives. She also was repeating herself a lot. And Lex looked nervous in her live. She was also stuttering a lot. And I do have a few theories why I think that's possible. But again, these are simply just my theories. Some of which I will be discussing in the part 2 of this video. But for one, I feel like they both kind of are catching each other in some lies. Just a couple examples. Stunna was on her live saying that Lex was 31 when Lex is in fact not 31, and Lex was on her live saying that still to this day Stunna does not get jewelry when there is obvious proof online that Stunna has been purchasing pieces of jewelry for a while, for years. So I feel like this is also a factor. I also feel like Stunna Girl may have been a little nervous in her lives because she was trying to watch what she said in response to Lex. She was trying to make sure she wasn't, incriminating herself or violating code any further, and this is honestly why I feel like she should have just left the situation alone when Lex added her on Instagram. She should have just not said nothing. That honestly was the best bet, but she ended up saying something, and she is Stunna Girl, so it just makes sense for her. But if I was her, I would have just not said anything in response. So after her live, Stunna Girl did say she was going to drop the subject and she wasn't going to talk about it anymore, but she actually ended up saying more things to Lex. Not to Lex, but just posting more on her story about the situation. So I'm going to put all of that in here actually, and then I'm going to make a part 2 to this video, and I'm going to discuss the diss song that Lex made, as well as Stunna's response to the video. So stay tuned for the second part. I will have it also in the description below.